Good evening to one and all present here. I, Asya Ashraf, on behalf of second year MHRM, DG Vaishnav College, welcome you all for today's webinar on the topic Challenges Faced by HR. Let us welcome our speaker for the day, Mr. Ganesh M. Ganesh M is an HR professional with rich experience of 21 years in HR. He is also a certified Prince 2 project management professional. He has worked positions in various levels of organization across various industries like IT, ITS, airlines, logistics, manufacturing, etc. He has expertise in recruitment management, performance management, training and development, and employee engagement. He has also conducted internal and external workshops in leadership, communication, stress management, change management, assessing employee performance, and employee retention. He is currently associated with the Hitachi Solutions as HR consultant, and he has also great expertise in conducting HR training across global level. We welcome you, sir. Now,
Thank you. Thank you.
now I would like to introduce the head of our department, Human Resource Management, DG Vaishnav College, Dr.N.C.Martin. He is a highly experienced academician and has about 20 years of academic and administrative experience as professor, HOD, dean, and registrar. He did his postgraduate in labor management and PhD in labor laws from Tamil Nadu Institute of Labor Studies. He started his career as a lecturer from the same institutions. He held various positions in the arts and science colleges, engineering, and media colleges. He held academic positions in various educational institutions such as Sri Chandraprabhu Jain College as Assistant Professor and HOD of MSW Department, Sam's College of Engineering and Technology as Professor and HOD of MPA Department. He was also the placement officer for the entire division of Sam's College of Engineering and Technology. During his tenure, he has successfully placed engineering and management graduates in top-notch companies of manufacturing and service sectors across the country. He continued his career in St. Joseph's College of Arts and Science as Dean of Academics and L.V. Prasad Film School, one of the best film schools in Asia, working as registrar. He acted as a jury representing the Employees Federation of Southern India for the selection of companies for the best practices for the year 2018-19. He has added number of research papers and publications to his credit, and he is expert in the subject of labor legislation and industrial relations. He has given centum results in various HR specialized subjects in the university examinations. We welcome you, sir. This meeting is recorded for educational purposes. In case of any doubts or questions, the participants can unmute themselves or type the questions in the chat box. Now, I request Dr. N.C.Martin to speak a few words about the topic for the day.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. So first of all, I'd like to welcome our resource person of the day, uh, Mr. Ganesh, HR consultant, Hitachi Solutions. So, and also our professors and students, and also from HR fraternity. So it is indeed a great pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of our management, Sri Ashok Kumar Mudiraji, and as our principal, Dr.S.Santhosh Baboo, for permitting us to host such webinars for knowledge partnering for our students. So this is our 65th series of webinar. So the topic for the day, challenges are faced by HR. So if you see the current situation, the world, so the order is changing intensely, and it is in the process of complete transformation. So we have to accept the fact so that the impossible things of previous day have become possible today, and the impossible things of today will become possible tomorrow. As human resources are dynamic, that is in dynamic nature, and they are subject to changes from time to time, and hence the managing the human resources is one of the critical challenge to any managers of today. In the recent past, many organizations are exploring business opportunities in the global market, so due to the dip in opportunities for growth in the local market. So the impact of globalization on business and HRM is a very huge. Even though there is improvement in the standard of living of people due to globalization and economic revival, but there is a fear of loss of jobs in certain section of people due to new technology and depth of skills to cope up with the technology and innovation. So another critical challenge we could say faced by the HR managers is that they are unable to balance the issues related to different cultures and different employment laws of the country and the business practices. They also find it tough to measure the knowledge and skills of global workers in terms of how to train them and how to educate them. So the different languages and cultures of foreign workers make things more complicated. Not only that, it is a real challenge to relocate managers and workers. So they are unable to move from location to location. So the other challenges we could say that it is adjustment of compensation plans to ensure equity among the employees who are posted in different geographical areas. So the most different task is retaining the employees in the face of the cultural shock faced by the employees and the families. So another major challenges before HR is that the managing the workforce diversity. So the workforce diversity it can be observed in terms of the male and female workers and the young and the old workers. So educated, uneducated, skilled, unskilled, professional employees like that. So moreover, so many organizations also have people of different religion, caste, nationalities, and this workforce diversity has created new challenges for HR. So the increase in number of women workforce also required in terms of flexible work and maternity benefits, so childcare facilities, and transfer of the jobs to their preferred locations, and etc. etc. Even the aging workforce creates a problem for demanding better health care facilities, demanding higher social security benefits, and this has become very challenging before HRs in terms of compensation and arriving other benefits. So the focus has been shifted to a quantity to a quality of work life. Today, if you see the employees expects uh, a what to say a greater balance between the work life and a personal life, where HR has to be very proactive to manage all these issues. So making employees to adapt to new technology has become another critical challenges for HR. There is no other way. So if you see the current IT industries where it requires a huge quantity without compromising the quality of staff. So as the technology skills become obsolete, then there should be a continuous updating of the knowledge and skills in terms of training them to the recent technology and other innovations. So hiring, training, and developing and retaining talent so have become a key challenges in the IT sector. So with this a brief note, I conclude the session and leave it to the resource person to throw much light and insight on the recent and the current and the future challenges of HR. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Dr. Martin, sir, for the quick introduction.
Thank you,
As
Bhagat.
rightly you told, like there are a lot of challenges faced by HR. So today we are going to see some of the challenges faced by HR freshers. So what we are going to do in this session, we are going to see as a HR when they step into the career as a HR with 1 year or 2 years experience, what are the issues they face, or what in this due to this changing world, what mistakes or what are the things when they take the steps, it occurs them as a challenges that we are going to see today. So today the session is an interactive session, so I want all your participation here. So this session we are going to divide into two. One, we are going to discuss the various challenges faced by HR, and next thing we are going to see various scenarios occurred in the recent industries by an HR person. The scenario, whatever we are going to see, is a real-time scenario occurred already in the organizations, but the names are changed. So I want the participation from all of you. When I show the scenario, I want any one of you to come forward and say what will happen if this scenario occurs to you when you are working as a HR executive or a recruiter or a HR manager or a HR person. Okay, let me share my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So, as I mentioned, today we are going to see a challenges faced by HR freshers whenever they step into this. So there are a lot of challenges. We are going to see some of them, and what will happen. What are the challenges faced by the HR as a freshers, and we are also going to see some scenarios. So let us move. So, what do you think the challenges will be when they logged as a HR, as a fresher, when they come to a company organization? You are all doing your MA. After this, you are going to do MHRM, MA in HRM. After this, you are going to go to the company and join as a recruiter or a HR executive or a HR person. So, what do you think? What will be the challenges as a HR fresher?
Sir, adapting to the organization, the culture.
Great, great. That is one of the challenges. Any other thing? Okay, so now we are going to see some of the mistakes or some of the challenges what they did. Not all the challenges. We are going to see one by one. Okay, the first challenge is planning, improper planning, or there is a lack of proper planning. Okay, so whenever any fresher log into the organization, I'm not saying all the freshers are not planning or something like that. But what happens whenever a fresher comes to the organization? Due to the changing business needs, due to the COVID situation, due to the innovations, due to the work pressure, sometimes they log into a area where without planning they enter into activity. Whether it's a recruitment management or performance management or implementing policies or exit or training and management, everywhere when we have to plan that activity. Whenever we are doing for recruitment management, whenever any task has been handled to us, provided to us as a HR executive to recruit a person, we should know, we should do a groundwork saying whether this sourcing or this vacancies, how many days it will take, what are all the experience, which source we can go into that, which source will give us more yield, what is the turnaround time for the employee to for the candidate to join, what are all the entry schedule we are going to do. So we have to do a proper planning. When you go for a performance management, when you are initiating performance management or implementing performance management for our organization, we should know what are the performance plan, how we are going to start. So before implementing, we have to inform the employee what is performance management and all, right? So proper planning is required. Some of the time, as a fresher, sometimes planning, lack of proper planning comes into the picture. Then, what do you think are the second challenges? So, I have told one challenges. What are all think that other challenges might be as a fresher?
So they will be having practical idea. They won't know how to implement it in the company.
Correct. Exactly. Yes. Any other answer? Okay. Yes.
So they might have lost social interactions due to this pandemic.
Pardon. Pardon.
They
Your
would have
voice is
lost.
too feeble. Can you please?
They would have lost social interaction due to this pandemic, sir.
Okay. Okay. Yes. That's also one of the challenge. Yes. So second challenge, what we are going to see, as I mentioned, today we are going to do a lot of challenges out there. We are going to see few challenges. Second challenge is very important challenge is believing in single recruitment source. So what happens when you go for a recruitment activities? Sourcing is very important point. So what we sometimes what we talk as a HR fresher, we even I was when as I joined as a HR, executive or in my career starting 2001 or 2002, it happens to me. I thought that okay, one source of recruitment, like for example, advertisement or Naukri or the online portal like Monster. Okay, this will give good yield to me. Why I have to go for a consultancy? Unnecessary wasting my time. I will look into this. I will get more source in this. And it happens for a fresher. They think that one source of recruitment may give a lot of resources to them or a lot of candidates to them. And this will also happen because whenever we, as I mentioned, recruitment management, this two three parts are there. First part, when we are doing a headhunting or sourcing for a candidate, we should know we should not believe in one recruitment source. We have to go for various options because when candidates, we thought that this candidate will be suitable, but when they go for a technical round or when they go for a final technical interviews, they didn't get shortlisted. So we should not believe in single recruitment source. Okay. Next one, implementing policies. As I some of the person has mentioned, implementing policies is one of the big tasks where HR will be facing nowadays due to COVID situation and changing in the work culture, adaptive of new technology. Implementing policy is a very difficult task. So that task we must, as I mentioned, we must plan and see how we can implement policy without with achieving the organization objectives and with the employee cooperation. Okay. So any other challenge?
Sir, as a fresher, they are not used to adapt the workload, sir. Coming straight from the college, they are not used to juggle multiple responsibilities. They are not able to handle responsibilities. Workload is the main thing.
Yes. Yes. Correct. So exactly, that is also one of the challenge. Correct. So they are not able to do a workload. So that also lead to lot of things. As I mentioned, improper planning also lead to lot of workloads. They don't know how to manage the workloads. So they do improper planning. So any other challenges?
So if it's a manufacturing sector, they'll have to deal with trade unions.
Great. Yes. Trade union. Yes. Correct. They have to deal with trade union. Yes. So that is also one of the challenge. Yes. Any other?
Sir, effective time management that they might not be able to do it immediately while they're a fresher.
Exactly. Yes. Great. Thank you. Thank you. Lot of inputs. Great. Yes. So that is also one of the challenge. They will be doing the effective time management. But now we are going to see one of the challenges which the HR unconsciously when they are doing. It's not only HR. If you go to any manager, this is basically relating to psychological. You know, sometimes what happens, when we are working as a HR, if anybody joins, and comes from our same location or speaks our own mother tongue, what will happen? We will be happy, right? We really feel very happy, excited, right? Correct.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So that challenge we are going to see unconscious influence and bias. So what happens is when there is a senior person or when there is a senior manager in the organization, who also belongs to the same location or same, speaks mother tongues or same neighbor or same area, or same locality. So what happens unconsciously, whether it's employee or a manager or whatever may be, unconsciously will be influenced by them. So we may not know. We thought that okay, they are asking some things. It's okay. No, there's not much issue. We have to help things, help others. We have to move with people. HR, it's anyway, it's people oriented. But what will happen, we will not know. Unconsciously we will be influenced by the people, and due to this we may go into the bias. So I'm telling the reality scenarios happened in the organization. Now, sometimes the HR was carried away by the senior people or senior manager. I will not blame them. It happened. HR is also a human. So sometimes what happens because of this unconscious things, or somebody what will sometimes what will happen if not only locality or any area. Sometimes when our friends were working in the organization and they introduce us to the organization, this is also will happen. They will come and say, hey, what happened? Hey, can you please tell me this? Is there some information we should not reveal? They will come and ask. That also happens. They say they thought, okay, he is my friend. He will think us as a friend because due to the young age, sometimes it is very difficult to differentiate personal and official. That situation might happen. So next thing, communication. A very important point is communication. I have seen lot of times what happens is the listening, was lacking in some of the HR freshers. I'm not blaming for all the HR. It happens, when they come. As I mentioned, due to a lot of workload, due to uh, going with the organization or time management. So communication sometimes either they are not properly communicate, or sometimes they are not much listening, or they are not see communication is something like that. Other people understand what I am saying, or in other way around. As a HR, I need to ensure the person who is sitting opposite to me or person I'm explaining, I have to explain in their own language. That doesn't require to be in English, or that doesn't require to be the jargon which I'm used. Sometimes what happens, the jargon which I'm used, he will not able to understand as an employee. Whenever I'm inducting the employee, whenever I'm discussing interviews, HR interviews with that employee, or when I'm negotiating salary with the employee, I need to ensure that this employee understood whatever his package is. This employee understood whatever my organization is looking into. This employee understood the competencies which is required for this job. So this thing as a HR, we should ensure that. So that is the communication. Last part is non-cooperative employee. Sometimes what happens, HR big task is adapting, making employee to the change management. Now, when we are saying the implementing policies, sometimes what happens, the employee may not be that much cooperative to the policy. Sometimes the employee may not be that much cooperative to the managers. As a HR, we should go and check why the employee is cooperative. We should not be in a hasty decision taking, issuing notice to the employee or checking. First, we check what is the issue the employee is facing, why he is not cooperating, why he is not going for the policy, what is his challenges. Maybe maybe the issue may be correct. We need to change the policy also, because whatever policy we are implementing, that may not be correct, or it may be situated to all the employees. So in such situation, without any hesitation, we have to try to change the policy if it affect more people. Okay, so this is one of the challenges. So we have seen the challenges. Now we are going to go for a scenario. We are going to go for different scenarios. So I'll go for one by one scenarios with all these challenges. Okay, I want after I first go through the scenario, I will explain the scenario. I want one of you to answer what you will do if you are in that position. Okay, ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. Thank you. Okay, so here what happens? Rajesh joined as a HR executive in a company called Infotech Solutions. The manager assigned him a task. The head of department, one head of department, they are head in charge of operation. They assigned him a task of recruiting project manager to onboard the employee within the month. because the employee, the project manager, Rajesh just joined as an HR activity. Immediately, the HOD calls, "Hi, Rajesh, I'm very happy that you joined in our organization. I know the interviewer, the HR manager told you are very enthusiastic and energetic. So I want a project manager to onboard within a month. I have one important project is coming. I want to onboard a project manager. So please, get me within month. Employee has to come." Rajesh, he wants, as a fresher, and he's very energetic and thinking that, okay, if we say no, sir, that is not possible. If we say, then they will think bad about his capability. So they say, okay, sir, I will recruit and onboard the employee within a month. Within a month, I will do that. So whatever Rajesh is given a commitment to the HOD, it can be fulfilled, or is it correct? I want one of you to answer this. What will happen if you are in Rajesh's position? What you will do? HOD is coming and asking you. You joined as a company, and HOD is coming to asking you that, hey, please recruit a. Can you please recruit a project manager? It is already in the headcount plan. It is already approved. It's vacant for more than a month, for more than 2 months. So you joined. Can you recruit? So what you will say when you are in Rajesh's position? Anybody?
Since it's my first assignment, I'll definitely try to do my best, sir, because it's the first task that my HOD is giving to me. I can't like refuse it.
Okay. Okay. Right. Any other person? What you will do with Rajesh? Whether he did a right job, he committed something like, yes, I will onboard the employee. Is it correct way? What he should have done?
Sir, maybe they can select the candidate by then, but onboarding might be a little difficult because there is a notice period in the existing company in case the employee is working in another company. So that depends on that company, and then only they can onboard, right, sir?
Exactly. Great. So that's the thing. Whenever, as I mentioned first, proper planning. Whenever any HODs gives us a job headcount, yes, we are gone to the organization and we have to work in the organization, and we should feel that the vacancies, if you are not filling, everything is correct. First is proper planning, as I mentioned. Whenever they give a headcount, our first workers, what is the experience, what is the job, what is the qualification they require for this project manager, and how many months, how many days it will take to source the candidate, and within which notice period he will be able to join. Okay, so without that, we should not give a commitment as HR, because as I rightly mentioned, it will take time. The organization where the candidate is working, they may not relieve it immediately. Whether we say we give joining bonus or we say attractive package and everything, the organization might not relieve them, within a specific period of time. When we do a sourcing, then first we need to analyze the turnaround time for the sourcing. Next, we need to analyze the turnaround time for scheduling the interviews. And once schedule the interviews, we need to have little areas where we can negotiate the compensation with the candidate. And once we negotiated the compensation with the candidate, after that we need provided a proper timing for the candidate to join in the company. Correct? So if we say, okay, we need a person urgently, and we say, okay, we'll give attractive our device, come and join. Tomorrow the same candidate might say, okay, this company they are giving, they can say, I'm going for another company. When I'm joined, you are not given time. And I'm going also, don't expect me time. I can't give the notice period. They may say bad about, think bad about our company. So the important point here is, whenever we do a recruitment, first we need to do a proper planning, and the HOD may feel, yes, it's really difficult for them to manage the ground, and we understand the ground reality, but there is a specific time required for everything. There is specific time required to complete the activity. So we have to say them, we will try to hire as a best, but 1 month onboarding, it is quite difficult. But however, we will try to onboard maximum, with less notice period. We will try to hire a candidate with less notice period, maybe not 1 month, like 15 days, candidates who are candidate interested to join, we will try to hire them and give them. Just because a project manager says, no, this is called pressure, handling the pressure. Whenever somebody comes and put our pressure as a pressure, we should not say yes, okay, we will do it. No, we first we have to analyze what is the situation, where is the thing, and whether it is really possible to do that. Confident is very important. At the same time, we can't say that the thing which is not possible. Correct? So any pressure comes or in. It happens whenever we go for a recruiter. HOD might give us a lot of pressure. I want this candidate to win within a week time. I want this candidate to come within 15 days time. They will say, because their work is getting affected. 100% correct. Ground reality we understand, but take time. When we are in urgent in hasty decision which we take candidate, the candidate we may not retain the candidate, or the candidate may be not good at what we are expecting, not meeting the requirements, manpower requirements, whatever we want for the organization. So there will be no use of hiring such candidates, correct? So that is the thing. Right. Next scenario. In a HR meeting, HR manager called all the HR team members and they were saying, guys, last month when we are doing a hiring, I could able to see lot of recruitment cost involved. We have paid for one of the consultancy. We were renewed the online portal Naukri, Monster, and all. Again, we have included LinkedIn. We are also paid to this ERP persons to do online job postings. So lot of recruitment cost is increasing much. So you should reduce the recruitment cost. So do the recruitment cost has to be reduced. I don't want any explanation. I want the recruitment cost to be reduced. Neha is a recruiter. So what she thought, okay. So she was doing a profile for technical machine. This particularly apply for a manufacturing company. And she said, okay, online portal I will go. Since HR manager told, no, you should not go for some other recruitment sourcing. I will go for online portal for technical mission. And she didn't look for other sourcing like advertisement or any job, consultancies and all. And Neha is supposed to recruit that person, supposed to schedule the interview within a span of 1 to 2 weeks time. Deadline is reached, but Neha not able to source a competent candidate. There was no candidate lined up. Either they are more experienced or they are less experienced, the qualification doesn't match, or they are not into this location, they are in some other location, they are from other locations, other cities. So this Neha did a correct job. So what do you think? So if you are in the position of Neha, what you will do? HR manager is calling and saying recruitment cost is reduced, and so what you will do in this position?
Sir, there should be a fallback plan, sir. She didn't have any fallback plan, so she didn't have any other thing to go back to.
Excellent, very good. Any other answer for this? See, as I mentioned, this is an interactive session. I want everybody to participate in this because these are all the scenarios occurred in the real time. When I was worked as HR, I came through all the situations. One of either of my assistant or I itself have gone through the situations. So I correlated and put various scenarios for you so that when situation occurs for you in the future, you may be aware of what to do. Okay, so I want all of you to participate in that and let me know what is the answer for this. Perception might differ, but that is okay. So any other answer for this?
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
sir, according to me, Neha should have tried more recruitment opportunities, sir. Like not only in one way, but she should have tried looking for recruitment process in 2 or 3 more ways, sir.
Great. Okay. Right. Excellent. Next, when there is a scenario, there are too many answers. Okay. So I want to hear there any other answer also there. Anybody? Okay, correct. So two answers are correct. First is Neha should have a fall black pant. What will happen when there's no recruitment is selected? There should be another sourcing also. Second thing, she would have go for some other sourcing also. Correct. That is also there. But the main thing is I should know as a HR if I go for any other sourcing, which sourcing will give good result for me. Okay. So when we go for HR as a recruiter, we might go into recruiting different kind of people in different categories, blue collar, white collar, lot of categories. So as a HR, we should know when we go to the organization which sourcing or which media which I'm looking into give me good profile for the sourcing which I'm looking into. For example, if I want to recruit some of the office assistants, or if I have working in a manufacturing company, I want to recruit drivers for my lorries, or to drive that. If I go for online portal Naukri or Monster or any other LinkedIn, that may not give me good result. Actual result I will get if I give ad in local newspaper, Dinamala or Dinatangi, I may get good opportunities. Or if I give the pamphlets, if I issue pamphlets, notice that there is opportunity. Or if I go for a local sourcing vendor who do white color, blue color jobs, blue collar people, sourcing people, I may get good result. So whenever we go for the sourcing, we should be very careful when you are doing sourcing. We should know which sourcing gives good profile for which positions. If we want to go for account executive or accounts, finance executive, we can go for LinkedIn or we can go for online portal. But again, that completely depends on the sourcing. Choosing the sourcing area or the media which I'm going to source for this position. The HR manager here told reduce the recruitment cost. Whatever he told is correct. Why he mentioned is do mainly you check what are the sourcing required particularly for the position rather than involving in various other things. That is what he told. So when we are going for the sourcing, we should know which position, which sourcing media give good result for this, for the position. Okay, right. Let us go for another scenario. This is a very important scenario. All most of the HR people will face in the organization. It's a real time scenario. I'll show this. So in companies, one of the company checking Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, or any movie videos is restricted in PeopleSoft solution. So when HR executive Rajesh, so what he is saying, he saw one of the employee, watching Facebook and posting some comment in the Facebook in mobile, which is against the policy. But Rajesh is very close to the senior manager, operation. Senior manager head, he is operation. He is very close to him. They usually go along with them. They go, outside and all. So Raj is being in a new recruit, HR executive. He's little bit afraid. Like if I go and create, say this employee, you don't look into that Facebook or something like that. The senior manager might kept in his mind, and he may create some issues for my jobs or something like that. He's thinking, okay, as a HR executive. So what Rajesh has to do further in this? Hello.
Sir, I think they cannot make any exception for this kind of activity. If it is a rule, then it's a rule for anyone. So the HR's duty is to inform them to not use it.
Exactly. So what he has to do? He has to escalate to the senior manager, or he escalate to the manager, or issue a so-called notice, or give a warning. What he has to do?
Sir, for the first time, if he's seeing, he can give a warning.
Good. So any other answer?
He has to do it in a polite manner, sir.
That's great. Exactly. So, as a verbal warning, he can say, see, watching Facebook and Twitter in office, even though in your personal mobile, that is wrong. Because this is office scenario. If you want to go watch, you can go outside or take a break and go and come. Okay, with your manager permission, you can go and watch your Facebook or post comment anything you can do outside of the office. If you want to go for a break, you can go for a break and do that. That's not a problem with your manager permission. But doing in the office, it is wrong. So as a HR, when we are doing the policy, we have to be firm. We should not see this employee relates to whom, this employee is working in a which cadre. We should not see the employee relative to any of the higher management, or we should not see anything. We should see policy is being implemented or not. Whether the employee is accommodating the policy, employee is adhering to the policy and rules and procedure of the organization. That is our main motto. Okay, so he should say, please go outside and watch your Facebook or whatever it may be, take a break with your manager permission. And if he's not following, he has to escalate to his manager and saying that you are one of the employee is watching Facebook in the office, which is not good. You please give a warning also. He has to escalate because as an HR, he has to report the issues to bring to the immediate attention of the reporting manager. And if he is not following, then he can give notice and everything he can follow. Okay, that's correct. Next thing. This is also a very nice scenario happens. Okay, in all the organization. Okay, and it has also happened to me, and it happened to one of my assistant also. I'll show you. Sonali was recommended by Abarna's HR executive in her company. So Sonali and Abarna are close friends. Okay, childhood friends. They both are studied, and Sonali is a software developer or some software engineer. They came to know that they are having an opening for HR executive in their organization. So Sonali recommended Abarna, referred Abarna's HR executive. Both are joined. Sonali joined the company. They were doing some star performer. They are giving some rewards and recognition. Star performer award, best employee award, best performer award, and all. They are doing assessing. As a HR, she need to do assessing, like which employee is the best, which employee comes to the star performer and all. So suddenly, what happens? Sonali calling Aparna, So Aparna asking Sonali like. Hey, how are you? My name is come in the star performer. Can you please check and let me know? Because I had done really well, and my manager told me that he's going to recommend, and I think he recommended also. Can you tell me what is my score? Whether I will get a star performer award this time? Because they are giving good food voucher and Amazon voucher. Whether I can go and buy. So, as Kabarna was asking Sonali, in this situation, what Sonali has to do? If she told anything, that's all. Aparna will get offended, and they are very childhood friends, from the beginning. And she only recommended. She will say, "Hey, I recommended you for HR executive, and I asked one small information also you are not giving. And I didn't ask the other salary. What is your salary? I didn't ask. I didn't ask what is senior manager salary or my reporting manager salary. I just asked my score. That's all. As an employee, I am eligible to know the score. So what Sonali has to do in this?
Sir, I think she should still refrain from saying the score because it's professional when it comes to a company. So I think she should still follow as per the protocol.
Great. Any other
And
thing?
also, sir, I second that opinion. Since they are very close friends, I think Sonali should know how to handle Aparna without offending her.
Excellent. Excellent. Next. Any other answer for this? Okay, I'll tell you. We should not give the information, whether it's an employee or friend or whatever may be. If the policy says, don't review. If the star performer policy says, we should not review this, we should reveal the score only at when we are announcing the star performer, we should not reveal it. But if they say yes, the employee also will be informed about your score. when we are doing this, then they can say. In this situation, Sonali should not inform, as you rightly tell, Sonali should not inform the score to Abarna, saying that, see, I can't inform you. And being a best friend, she knows, they know, as rightly you don't, they know how to, inform politely without offending it. And they can say, okay, so this is also happens. If I'm mentioning about the unconscious influence, you know when two people are in the same location or two people are in the same time, it may happens. They come and say, hey, I'm not asking other salary, I'm not asking other thing, I'm not asking company confidential information, I'm just asking what is my core. Nobody is going to chop your head if you tell me. Okay. But we have to follow our ethics and professionalism in this, so we should know the differentiate between personal and professional. Okay, great. So let us go to the next scenario. Scenario 5. Okay, Bakshi is a GM operation and Rajesh is a HR executive. They are both belongs to the same company, same location. So they are both comes from the same village or same location, and they have same mother tongue. Both speaks same mother tongue. Don't want to mention that mother tongue, but they will speak. And sometimes what happens, Bakshi, when he comes free times, he'll say, hey Rajesh, chalo bhai, let us go outside. They will have dinner outside, and because they are very close. Rajesh liked Bakshi as a mentor. When they see, a very elder person, and he speaks very nice. Whenever I'm not waiting time, my manager scolding me, he'll say, hey, don't worry, Rajesh, you are very capable. You can do best. You can bring a lot of things. I will give some references. I will bring some old people of my company. I will give references. You can recruit them. And although I will say, what happens when there is an appraisal time? Bakshi called Rajesh and telling, hey Rajesh, my junior Ravi, I have given a best rating to him. Sometimes what happens, there was one situation where Ravi, with due to lot of pressures, he spoken to customer in a very unethical way, and or some issues happened, and customer raised a complaint on Ravi, saying that he is not following the procedure, or he is not delivering whatever he is supposed to deliver. The customer raised a very big complaint against Ravi. But that complaint, customer complaint, that was not that much serious, but it was somehow handled. So he's saying, please don't highlight that issue, the customer complaint in the appraisal. We have given a verbal warning to Ravi because he's a very good performer. He also performed well, and I have given a very good rating to him. I have not highlighted that complaint. So please don't highlight in the HR, the appraisal. I want him to get good increment. Otherwise, he will leave the organization. So here, Rajesh, what has to do in this scenario?
Sir?
Yes, tell me.
Sir, as you have mentioned that Rajesh is a good performer, I think if he have understood that he has done a mistake and he has realized, then I think he can be given one more chance, sir.
Okay, right. Any other answer?
Sir, but that will mean that you are overlooking something that can affect somebody's appraisal, right?
Okay. So what Rajesh has to do in this?
Maybe give a small nudge and maybe try to explain that. Maybe give a reason, saying that even if this has happened, the situation has been resolved. Maybe after feedback can be included.
Okay. Any other answer for this? It's a very interesting topic. Many of you can answer this.
Sir,
It happens.
if I'm being Rajesh, sir, so I
Yes.
would not really support Ravi or Bakshi for their request, sir. Because I don't think I should bring favoritism, though they belong to the same regional as me. So work is work, personal is personal. So
Correct. So for this, what I want to ask you is, Bakshi is saying, Rajesh, hey Rajesh, I'm not asking you any favor. It happens, as a HR, you have to retain one employee. Unnecessary blowing up one complaint, which is a verbal warning, and you are raising it, the employee may leave. He's a fantastic performer. And if you give them good promotion, I'm recommending promotion. If you highlight this customer complaint, you may not give promotion, company may not give promotion. In such a situation, you leave the organization and you have to recruit another person with more salary, and the salary cost, the manpower cost will increase again. Again you have to spend 1 month, 2 months time. This and all will happen. I'm just telling you. So what Rajesh has to do in this? Bakshi is putting more pressure for Rajesh. Hey, don't do that. ऐसा मत करो, or don't do that. Or his own language he's saying, don't do that, because it will create a lot of problem. If you want me to talk to CEO or COO, I will talk. Don't highlight in the HR. Don't put it in the appraisal. Don't create as a record in the appraisal. What he has to do? Any other answer for this?
Sir,
Yes, tell me.
I think apart from looking into like mother tongue and all that, if he is genuinely looking from both personal and as well as organization point of view, it is actually a loss if he if we remove him from the job. So he can actually think from organization point of view, sir, and give
Okay.
him one more chance.
Okay. Okay. Right.
So
Yes.
I don't think Rajesh should obey to Bakshi sir, because it won't be ethical for a HR to cover up thing which is actually happened. Transparency is really important. So if a customer raises a mail, means HR shouldn't cover it.
Excellent. Very good. Lot of answers. Great. Any
So,
other answer? Okay. Yeah,
so
tell me.
until and unless it is not hindering Rajesh's job and their placement there, I don't think so. It is necessary. But if it is really hindering their job, or they can get a bad reputation because of that, then I think they should proceed with it. Irrespective of their relation outside or inside of the office, they should maintain professionalism, sir. So they should take it into consideration about the customer review.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. A lot of answers. Great. So before I will tell about this, I want to ask you, what do you think the HR role in performance management? Employee will do the self-rating, manager will do his rating, and he sends the henry to HR. HR has to summarize and give it to CEO. Or is there any role in the HR in this? Because
HR
nowadays,
shouldn't
what
be
happens is,
biased.
okay, sorry, tell me.
Sorry, sir. HR shouldn't be biased during a review.
Great, excellent. Any other answer? Okay. Nowadays, what happens? There was old days where we are filling the forms and all. Nowadays, we go to most of the big companies, or if you go to the companies, mid-sized companies also, they are going for online portals for these appraisal systems. A lot of online portals are there for the appraisal system. So they are going for the online portal. So what happens? Employee login, they do the self-rating. If particularly if the payroll and all was processed through online, they are itself giving us an add-on package saying that we will give online portal. So they are giving online portal. So employee will go log in, give the self-rating, it will go to the manager directly, and manager will do the rating, and it will come to the HR. HR has to summarize. Summarize means bulk around are not required. Everything system will take care. So this kind of a situation, as Mr. Dr. Martin already mentioning, innovative technologies, gives a lot of challenges, in reducing the manpower. Now it's happening. Everything system is taking care. Okay. So what do you think the HR has to do in this performance? So you are mentioning we should not be biased, right? Oh, here what we can do. The HR work is to see the appraisal happened in a fair way, whether it's through online or through these document or through verbal or whatever may be. The HR is responsible to see whether the appraisal happened in a fair way. What might happen? There may be some good employee, since manager didn't like them, Maybe whatever the reason may be, maybe they don't like them, or this employee is spoken, against the manager, or anything might be possible. They would have given a bad remarks for the employee, but employee would have good appreciation from the customer and all, everything he will keep it. Manager will give, employee will give excellent, manager will give poor, not even average. Manager might give poor. Manager should not do it. But see, as I mentioned, there is complete difference whatever we are studying and whatever are happening in the industry. I will not say all the managers are doing. Sometimes some managers, having a personal grudge may do that, because this and all we will face in the real time industry. What happens? Manager might give a bad remarks, or sometimes what will happen? The employee might not perform good because of some kind of situation, like situation whatever we have seen. The manager will give excellent remarks, hiding all the facts under the carpet. So, as a HR, our duty is to see whether this appraisal happened in the fair way. If manager gives a rating, bad remarks or good remarks or whatever it may be, he has to give sufficient evidential details. You should give proper proof. Particularly to this situation, if you can see, as a HR, we know there is a customer complaint. Though the complaint may not affect the organization, it didn't affect the organization that much reputation. But however, a customer complaint is a complaint. So what we can do, we can put whatever the manager rating they have mentioned as a HR comment, we can attach. There was a complaint from the customer on so and so date. However, as verbal warning, it was improved. Improved shown by the employee. We should not lose the employee also. So in this kind of situation, we will be, we will have a very embarrassing situation. Like we should be very careful when we are taking the decision. This should not affect the employee. This should not affect the organization. Particularly, this should not affect our ethicalism and professionalism. So here we can attack that complaint and we can say there was a complaint. There was verbal warning given on so and so date. Our improvement shown very nice, and after that there was no complaint received from the manager, from the customer. We have to attach that, and since there was improvement shown, we can consider the manager recommendation. We can put that. So whatever facts and figures provided to manager, we have to consider that. And main thing, we should not hide, because we are working for the organization. We are not working for any individual employee. The CEO, what happens sometimes, it happens, as a HR, we feel whether we are working for the organization or working for CEO or CEO. Sometimes we feel, but originally we are working for the organization. The designation might change, the employee might go, but organization remains forever. So our objective is make sure everything goes in the proper way. So here we have to do a fair practice. We can add this complaint and give a note. So that is. See, this is the last scenario I'm going to give. Okay. No, this is not last. This is last before one scenario before. This is a very exact scenario which I have seen. This scenario happened to me in the factory. One of the HR assistant, when he was doing the recruitment, and later on I solved this issue. When I was working in a manufacturing company, this went till union. You are saying no union discussion. This is went to union issue, and we solved it. Okay. Guna is a HR executive. He is working in a manufacturing company. He hired a Velu, a machine man for his factory. Machine man, with due respect, I am saying machine men are nowadays they are educated. But what will happen whenever we deal with blue collar and white collar, as I rightly mentioned, we should know what language they understand. Communication is what others understand. I will be keep on talking 1 hour or 1.5 hours. What is the use when other people don't understand? Correct. So we might HR, we know CTC, manpower cost, attrition rate, all these jargons as a HR we know, but the other person must know. So Guna hired Velu, and there is no offer letter mail sending, and also manufacturing company. So he called Velu, say Velu, this is the offer letter. You please sign this. So Velu asking, sir, how much I'll get salary? Hope everybody understand Tamil, right? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, okay. Okay, right. Velu was asking, sir, எவ்வளோ சார் கையில் வரும்? He was asking, sir, எவ்வளோ சார் வரும்? Guna told 12,000 CTC. CTC, Velu didn't understand. Okay, sir. Velu left. He signed the offer and he joined in the fact. Suddenly, Velu is receiving the salary. He is seeing 11,000 only credited in his account. He is getting message in the mobile, 11,000 credited in your bank so and so. Velu got shocked. He immediately went to the factory manager. He complained that, sir, that HR, Guna, when he hired me, he told 12,000. Now I am getting 11,000. 1,000 rupees gone. I came to duty completely. I have done extra hours also, and I not even took one single day leave. I'm very efficient in my work. I'm handling in machine, lot of heat and all. And he complained. Factory manager tried to console, but that didn't work. He went to, union. This happened. I'm just changed the name. Okay, this has happened. Okay. Oh, who is the fault in this? It's Velu didn't. It's Velu mistake. Who didn't understand what is CTC? Or it's Guna mistake. When he explained, he told CTC wrong. He would have told take home. Whose mistake is this?
Sir, even though it is the problem is actually in both sides, Guna must have informed more clearly, sir. Like in the way Velu must have understood.
Correct. Exactly right. So this is what issue happens when we are when we are dealing with blue collar people. So I'm not saying all the blue collar people don't understand what is CTC or don't understand language. I'm not saying that. There are a lot of people who has knowledge on CTC, what is knowledge on. But when we go for them, we should know whether they understood what is the salary offered to them. Because this might happen. We say CTC, they take home salary. We say CTC including gross salary, PF, ESI, our insurance, all these things included in the CTC. They might say that, okay, this is the salary which I am going to get in hand. Okay. So we should know whenever we spoke to, not only I'm talking about the blue collar people, even white collar people also it happened. So when they say CTC, they don't understand on the CTC. They say, what is CTC? Cost to company. What is cost to company? Oh, this is the total amount you're going to give as a cost to the company. They might think like that. So whenever we are sending offer letter to the candidate or when we are discussing the salary negotiation, we can discuss on the CTC because it's a practical way, or it's being followed as practice. All HR discuss only on the CTC terms, not on the take home salary. But we must ensure that the employee understood what is take home salary. We at least should give the breakup to him. This is your take home. This is the CTC. This is what you are going to get. We should make them understand whether because of this he is not joining. That is also not problem. We'll get a good candidate. But what will happen? That like HR is exploiting employee. They should not think in that way. So not even any employee, whether it's blue collar or white collar, they should not think, okay, HR is exploiting them. HR, they are not giving proper information. They have given something and they are giving something. They should not. Otherwise, we can explain them what is CTC. There is nothing wrong in it. We might have a lot of work. We need to recruit a lot of people, 100 people, 200 people, everyone understand. But when we are discussing the salary, we have to be very careful. We should take time, even 1 hour or 2 hours. We explain them, this is a CTC. What is CTC? This is your gross salary. After gross salary, there is a PF. PF means this is the company contribution. This is a ESI contribution. And this is the insurance which company is giving on behalf of your employee, your home, everything company is taking, your family, health insurance company is giving. So computing, this is the total cost. So in this gross salary, we will deduct this PF as per government norms. But even though we deduct PF, that is not this company takes it. It comes to your account only when you are doing retirement. This is a retirement benefit where government has given. This is a ESI whenever you are not well or whenever any accident happens or anything not good, we can go to the ESI and you will get this much of benefit in the ESI. These are all the things HR can inform the employee, before doing salary negotiation. Okay, this happened and it went to union, and then we negotiated, and we solved that issue. I solved this issue. So this happened in factory whenever I was working. So this scenarios, whatever I have given, it's all happened. The names were changed. The situations were little here and there, it is changed, but the scenario happened, and there was some decision taken. So I'm giving to you so that whenever you are working as a HR, you will know. Okay. A final scenario. Okay. Neha, she is a HR executive. She received a complaint from Ravi. Now Ravi has become a project manager, saying that Sahul, who's just moved from some other project to Ravi, and saying that Sahul is not cooperating to me. Ravi is saying Sahul is not cooperative. No, in project meeting he is not attending, he is not making note, and whatever I am telling he is not listening, and he is coming again and asking me whatever I told. I have to be repeated whether I'll take care of project, I'll take care of Sahul. It's really irritating. As a HR, do something. Oh, Nega, what she did is she directly didn't went to Sahul and do a mentoring, but she checked what Sahul profile. As a HR, this is the thing we have to do. First, we need to check the profile, the employee, why he is doing like that. So then we found out Sahul was in a Pradeep project. He was in a Pradeep project for 4 years, and that project is completed. He was assigned to Ravi. Okay. Now Neha, what has to do? So Neha understood the problem. So here two things. First is whatever Neha did, she directly didn't call Sahul and say, hey, why you are not cooperative? This is, we will give warning. And no, she didn't done that. She checked the profile and see what are all the projects Sahul worked, where he worked, who's under his supervision he worked, and why. And now he came to Ravi, why he is not cooperating. He checking that. So what Neha has to do in this situation you will face in particularly to IT companies, particularly to the where the project manager is kept changing. Okay. So this kind of situation might happen in HR, particularly when HR is working in IT company. So here, what HR has to do in this?
So maybe Neha can ask Shahul if he is comfortable with working with Ravi, or what his actual problem is, and try to resolve the scenario and make him comfortable and make him fit into the team more nicely.
Great. Any other answer?
Sir, like they can approach the HR can approach Pradeep and ask whether Ravi has like how he reacted when he was working under Pradeep.
Excellent. Great. Fantastic answer. Great. Yes. So Neha, that's the reason I have given here. My name, good name.
Ramya, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Ramya,
sir.
great.
Ramya.
Ramya, great. Yes. So the first answer also correct. Mentoring we have to do. That is also a correct answer. Second thing, Neha has to check Pradeep. Sahul, how Sahul was there? 4 years he worked in your project. How was he? Was he is having... So what are all issues Ravi has highlighted with Sahul? Neha has to check with Pradeep whether these are all the issues, whether Pradeep has gone into. Without being highlighted, this is being highlighted by Ravi. That is one important thing. Ravi, it may happen Ravi and Pradeep getting like each other. They say, yeah, I was very kind. Ravi is very much like, he made rights. So without being highlighted, we have to call them and say, this is very confidential meeting. You please let me know. And how was Pradeep? Whether he is facing all these questions, and then understood what is the real scenario. So when we are working as HR, more than our strategic decisions, psychology plays as a very important role. Okay, whenever issue comes, we have to think in a psychological way also. When we are dealing with people, particularly when there is an employee complaint, particularly to the manager, we should understand what is the real issues, whether the issue is with the employee itself, or when there is some toothing issue for the employee to come into a new project. Okay, that might also happen. Whenever anybody joined as a new project, what will happen? They will have some toothing issue, understanding the project, understanding the client. The KT or the knowledge transfer would have not given properly. So when they are doing the knowledge transfer, there may be some hiccups. He didn't understand the knowledge transfer. So whenever the project meeting, he thinks, oh, I don't understand. They are not given knowledge transfer properly. Why I have to understand this meeting? No, this is not Pradeep. He was like, and carried away by subconscious, unconscious influence, as I mentioned first. This is also one of the unconscious influence. What will happen? I worked in Pradeep. He was very nice. He take me to all the dinners. He take me. We both watch IPL together. We were both like CSK fan. We both like Dhoni. So this situation also happens. Sometimes they carried away with this unconscious influence. Sometimes that there might be some situation where the knowledge transfer or the KT or this would have not be given properly. Due to these reasons also, the employee maybe not be cooperating. So what the employee will feel, oh, why I have not got anything. It's their responsibility to give. It's an individual perception, particularly when issue comes, they will always try to point others. So it happens. So we need to understand what are the real issues, and this situation comes particularly Neha has to check with Pradeep what is the issue is, and he has to accordingly you can do the mental. Okay, right. Thank you very much all for the interactive session. I hope you learned a lot of things. Thank you.
Participants, if you have any questions, you can post them in the chat box or unmute yourself and ask the questions.
So I have a question for you. Since we're currently escalating back to work from actual office, what were the challenges that you as a HR faced while transitioning into like back then before 2 years or even now it's happening? What were the challenges that you faced transitioning employees into work from home?
First of all, employees, two things here. Okay, Aarti. Okay, right. Let me answer this question, then I'll ask Aarti questions. Here, two things. Some of the category of the employee, they are want to come to office. They are saying, "Oh, I want to come to office at any cost of time." The organization where I'm working, or before the organization where I'm working. Now it's a lot of people are very, they want to come to organization rather than sitting at home. But some of the employees, what they think, like, it is very convenient for them to work from home. Particularly they are able to support their family, and they are able to cope up their family. So if we bring that employees, so what will happen? They might feel some discomfortness, or they want to in house and all, they can take coffee, or they may take more break. It will be little, they will be little unaccommodative when they come to office, this kind of situation. So what should do, we have to slowly make them accommodative in the our office. So what we are doing, I'll tell you. So what we are doing, we are conducting lot of fun activities in the office. Actually, a lot of people are started coming to the office to make them more feel in the office. We have started conducting a lot of fun activities, and from operational levels, the managers, project managers, they have started conducting meetings with the team, and they have started little, now hotels are opened and everywhere it's opened. They started going with staff lunch, team lunch, because 1.5 year, for the past 1.5 year, there is no team lunch. People have not gone to any team lunch because of COVID situation. Restaurants are closed, the people are at work. Even successful completion of project also people didn't went. So they started going team. So now make them to back to organization or an office. Okay. These are all the way we can say. Usually what happens this kind of situation, there will be little non-accommodative to the office. And another thing I will tell you, when we are doing a chats, this kind of situation, most of the HRs, the IT companies, basically IT companies, where work from home can be given, they have given work from home particularly to the native employees who are coming from outstation of Chennai, or who are coming from outstation and they are working here. They told work from home. You come only when it required. Lot of IT companies, big companies, they are given this because this is very much useful for the employee also. This is one of the way to retain the employee. And think that okay, I'm with my family, I'm with my native. The company is recognizing this. They are giving space for me to do the work culture. They'll be very happy. But I'll tell you, most of the employee, 60 70% of the employee want to come to office because they are really stuck at home. In office means they can walk. They could not able to chat with their friends. They are really started missing the office scenarios. This is the actual thing happen. But this is also will happen whenever we go for office. This also will happen. Okay. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. A following question to that. Did the
Yes.
productivity drop or did it increase?
Work from home productivity has increased because why? Because in office, whenever they have time, they can grow big. But in work from home, they are from starting, from the time they are sitting in one place. But as a HR, we should not see only the productivity. We should also see their health. When you sit one place continuously for more than an hour or something like that, that will not will have an issue in your health. So in our company, we are conducting lot of health activities. We are doing lot of webinar sessions. Not now. I'm telling for the past 8 months. We are conducting lot of webinars continuously. When we are not doing exercises, what will happen? And we are giving some tips on home exercises. Whenever continuously we are working for more than 1 or 2 hours, what are the stretches we have to do? What are all the things we have to do? All these things we have to complete cover. Coming to the productivity is increased when they are in work from home. Uh, so now only it started. So we have to see how the productive is. But people who came to office, little, as I told, little accommodative, but deadlines are met. But the project manager are taking care. But here and there, little productivity issues are there. I will not say completely it's not there. Here and there it is there. But actually, people are very enjoying coming to office. That thing I want to tell you. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much. It was a really
Thank you.
informative session.
Thank you. And Aarti Ravikumar, she was asking how can HR suppose the organization as due to working remotely? Yes. So as I mentioned, Aarti, I think I answered this. We are conducting webinars for the employees, for the mental health, for the remotely working, and encouraging their inner talents. We are also doing a lot of videos for the employee to come and do some kind of. We have recently conducted some kind of jokes competition. We have conducted. Employee can come and give jokes. Which jokes have more legs? We are giving some awards for them. So that is also we are doing. Do you think retaining talented employees big challenges for HR? Yes, that is a very big challenge. But now, first of all, HR need to understand why people are leaving. Just because of salary, just because of promotion. No. As a word, there is rightly told, like employee leave the manager, not the organization. If you go and ask the employee who is leaving the organization, not immediately when they are leaving, after 1 or 2 months, you ask why you left this company. He will say the company is very nice, but that manager is very worst. He will say like that. So we should understand the employee why they are leaving, and we have to try to avoid such things. So that is way we can retain talented employee. Most thing is rewarding the talent and appreciating the talent. That is one good way. So I have introduced in my company, one of the companies I introduced thank you card. A thank you card is a card which the manager or anybody can give to any person, for the work rendered by them. They can say thank you. So That thank you God I have introduced. This really increase the morale of the employee. When they will give say thank you very much for the work, they will give the thank you card. So that is one thing. Good evening, sir. What are all? I hope I answered your question. Next is Kalai Selvi. Good evening, sir. What are all the steps HR take in order to retain employee, especially post-pandemic situation? Yes, uh, post-pandemic situation, as I mentioned, we should regularly interact with employees. I will say how many HR have spoken to the employee, particularly when this pandemic situation is over. Did HR spoken to the employee? Many of the HR they have not spoken. They are very busy in the work, so they should speak to the employee, understand what are all the issues they are facing. Particularly when company is not giving any much increments or anything, how they are managing, how things are happening, they have to understand. By talking to them, they are not going to give them increments. This is one of the ways as a thing, as a moral, to increase the moral, we should talk and we to conduct a lot of interaction, regular interaction with the employee. When you do that, what happens? You are not making employee away from you. In office, directly, regularly, we are interacting. We are conducting some sessions. We are regularly interacting with the employee. Understand? When they are particularly in working remotely, we need to have a regular contract. Regular contact with them, regular interaction with them. Thank you for sharing your experience. Affect the employee performance or vice versa. I think I answered this. Employee performance not that much affected, but from accommodating to the organization, sometimes it might affect. But as I mentioned, not only as a HR, we should not only concentrate on employee performance, we should also concentrate on employee health. That is a main part. I hope you would have read the statistics, really near statistics about the organization which has conducted a such survey. Most of the people who have worked, out of that, 60% of the people who are working in remotely now due to this pandemic situation tend to get heart attack because of not any physical activity. This is the research. Because people are sitting at home, they are because of COVID situation, they are not coming outside. They are completely, stress level also increased. When in office, they can go outside. Now, personally, so we are putting an employee in such situation. Pandemic, as I will put another way, pandemic put the employee in a situation where they have to face personal challenges and professional challenges. They have to take care of the kids. They have to take care of the family. They will come and official times also they will put. They have to take other work pressure also. Both the things they have to take care. When the employee is away from home 6 or 8 hours, you are keeping the difference in at least leaving the personal from 8 hours or 10 hours and able to concentrate only on the work activities. But now what happened? Both the thing the employee are crushed. One area is personal, one area is professional. So, as I mentioned, regular interaction is required for with the employees. That is where you can boost their morale. Okay, thank you.
So I have a question based on a real case scenario. So can I ask it
Yes,
or should I post it in the chat
yes.
box, sir?
No, tell me. You ask me. No problem. Tell me.
Uh, it's actually I did my internship in a company 2 months back.
Okay.
I was learning under a deputy manager in HR department. She
Okay.
joined in that company 3 months before that, but she has already experience of that in the same field before joining in that. Even though she's a deputy manager, she was doing the work of an executive, which was given by her manager. Due to this, she was struggling between her work role and the work which was asked to do by her manager. So she was even afraid to inform this to her higher officials. How can someone overcome this situation, sir?
Excellent question you have asked. This is not only, I'll tell you with my experience, with my global training experience, spoken to a lot of people in international level. I could say this not only happening one particular employee in one particular organization, this is happening across the world. Particularly this pandemic, this happened for a lot of employees. Lot of employees when we spoke, they told like, yeah, we are getting they because of pandemic company is not recruiting much seniors, or they are not much recruiting juniors. They are recruiting for one position. They are getting work for two positions. Okay, this kind of scenario always happens. This even happened to me. So the only thing is, one point of time we have to go and inform them that either you recruit a senior or recruit a junior. You should, they could say, see, I am a deputy manager, I have some important policies, bringing policies and other things. It is very important work for me. I need to concentrate that work. When I'm started concentrating on small activities like taking care of admin attendance or the regular HR executive activity, then I will not able to contribute much to the organization goals or organization objectives or organization productivity. So you please give me one, trainee employee or executive employee where I can give them the work of the HR executive work, and I can concentrate on my depot. They should say at one point of time. They should not feel that, okay, company might feel, okay, you don't have capability. People should have five multitasking capability. Everything is right. You got to tell them, yes, I understand. Everything is right. It is not that I can't do. I want to concentrate much on the higher terms rather than giving less concentration on the lower terms. I am not degrading this work as I will not do, but I'm saying if a HR executive is there, I will do more. So one point of time they have to go and inform. Otherwise, company will not understand. So everybody will have lot of works. They will not unless understand. You go and inform them because they have some other priority. They have arranging financials for the organization. They want to increase the business. They want to go for multi sales, bringing customer and all. They will not concentrate one deputy manager is doing, unless otherwise deputy manager is doing HR activity. Also, I'm very happy. So that thing happen. Or what they can do, there is another way also. So if you have coins have two sides, two three things, other things also they can do rather than appointing one HR executive or thing. Whether they can make online of works, like they can go for some online. So I'll tell you what happened. This same situation happened when I was working for another company. I need to take care of everything, starting from payroll to exit. I need to also do a policy. I need to also do performance management. I have to visit to all the locations, nearly 7, 8 locations. I have to conduct what is performance management. I have to employ how performance will be improved. Okay. So when I started working on this payroll, I was not able to concentrate on this situation happened. So what we did is I spoke to the management and said, hey, I want to go for online. Some payroll portal is there, some online software is there to process the payroll to biometric. So please bring that. So this will be a one-time cost. This is not a HR executive and a HR executive is a regular cost, one-time cost. So if you are not giving additional headcount for me, you give me additional resources to ease my work. Understood? So this is also one of the way they can regularize this work. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. This was so informative. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So anybody have any other question? Okay. Thank you all. It's really interactive. Thank you very much for joining. I hope the session gives good knowledge on this, about this challenges. We will meet in another some other session. As I mentioned, it is very difficult to discuss all the challenges in just 1 hour session. So we have seen the freshers challenges now. Maybe time permits and everything comes in the way. We will see the middle level challenges maybe in some other session. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir, for this informative session. It was a pleasure to attend. Now, I would like to invite Vishali of 2nd MHRM for the word of thanks.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much for the enlightening session, sir. Before you're a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you're a leader, success is all about growing others. I, Vishali, from second year MA would like to take this wonderful opportunity to thank our esteemed speaker, Mr. M. Ganesh, HR consultant from Hitachi Solutions, for sharing his valuable insights and knowledge on the topic challenges faced by HR. I would like to share a few key takeaways from today's session. Improper planning or lack of proper planning is one of the major challenges faced by a fresher HR. Communication of information should be clear to the listener. Non-cooperative employees, unconscious influence and bias, and implementing policies are also considered some of the major challenges faced by the HR. We, the future HRs, would really work on the understanding provided by our lively speaker. Sharing is caring is an age-old proverb. True to this thought, I would like to thank the pillar of our PG department of HR and HOD, Dr. N.C.Martin, for arranging this webinar, and Professor Sneha for his support to organize this webinar, providing us an enlightening tour to the pragmatic arena of HR. Finally, I extend my gratitude to the participants from various professions and students. I request you all to kindly fill up the feedback form given in the chat box below with your details. Stay safe, stay vaccinated. Thank you all. Have a great evening. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the great session.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.